Advancing Black history and liberation with the practice of non-criminalized community defense. Community defense has been present in different ways at every stage of the Black liberation struggle. We know that we cannot depend on the same system that preys upon us also to protect us or be transparent about our history of organized resistance. Similar to MLK Day, during Black History Month, we are bombarded with watered-down history and offers of reform as a solution to our unnecessary suffering and premature death under the capitalist system. As such, we lift ancestors like Robert Franklin Williams, who taught his community in Monroe, North Carolina, how to defend themselves against the cops, klan, racist bosses, and library and school boards. Williams believed that self-defense was a form of self-reliance, and his organizing went on to inspire the Deacons for defense in Louisiana and Mississippi, the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, and our communities today. The purpose of community defense is never just to make life more tolerable. It is a necessary practice in organizing for immediate survival and building collective power towards collective liberation. With each generation of struggle, we learn from the past and apply lessons to our present conditions. This is why we are so adamant that the community defense we practice today must be non-criminalized. We cannot practice building a new system using tools of punishment and dehumanization that the capitalist state uses on us. As a revolutionary ancestor Fred Hampton said, we've got to face the fact that some people say you fight fire best with fire, but we say you put fire out best with water. We say you don't fight racism with racism. We're going to fight racism with solidarity. We say you don't fight capitalism with no black capitalism. You fight capitalism with socialism. One of the ways we practice non-criminalized community defense is learning how to identify the different ways we are being attacked, both directly and indirectly by the capitalist state. At this moment, we are experiencing open and intense fascist attacks on our communities from ICE, the National Guard, police terror, and mass surveillance, to military coups that kidnap democratically elected leaders of sovereign countries, Venezuela. We are clear that any form of criminalization only advances the interests of the rich ruling class, never in the interest of the working class. These attacks use criminalization to create the illusion that punishment, street-style executions, jails, detention centers, and other forms of terror are tools that are needed to keep us safe. What are the ways we may have been normalizing criminalizing that we did not realize? The answers will reveal themselves as we collectively work in others not to lean on tools of the capitalist state, but lean on each other to practice organizing for solutions that meet needs according to needs and change our conditions from life-taking to life-giving. Special bodies of armed men attacking us and corporate media justifying the violence, labeling us as criminals, is one of the many types of terror the capitalist state inflicts on us. Attacking our access to resources is another, by charging us for and privatizing resources that we all, and what about when the utility meters are inaccurate? In those instances, the capitalist state and its enforcers, local politicians, the utility companies, debt collectors, and so on have no problem criminalizing you rather than hold themselves accountable. The capitalist state does not care who it devours to maintain a system of maximum profit and social control. CEOs and politicians want us to believe that turning off someone's access to water or heat is an acceptable solution to get people to fall in line. When we reflect on these normal practices, we have the opportunity to collectively release the belief that weaponizing human need as punishment is a real path to safety. Because unnecessary suffering and premature death is profitable to the capitalist system, we know that the capitalist state will continue to invest in criminalization over the needs of the people. For example, the capitalist state will hire parking police to put boots on cars instead of hiring more sewage and water board workers to address drainage, flooding, and water boils. The capitalist state creates conditions of scarcity and deprivation and then uses our justifiable responses to these traumatic experiences against us to justify more criminalization and more punishment, all while actively defunding public spaces and public services like our schools, libraries, food banks, and youth and elderly programs. Public deprivation breeds the conditions for added unnecessary suffering and premature death within communities. In these critical moments of despair and uncertainty, committing ourselves to non-criminalized community defense and not involving the capitalist state or its tools does not mean ignoring or being dismissive about what has happened to us and our loved ones. It's the opposite. It is to care so deeply that we commit ourselves to coming together in collective accountability with others to address problems at the root and to genuinely meet needs. It means digging deep in relentless pursuit of practices that reject punishment and deprivation to instead transform conditions. None of us are expected to do the work alone, nor can we. It is through our continued practice together in struggle that solutions and new ways of relating to each other will reveal themselves to us collectively. The more we practice non-criminalized community defense, the better prepared we are to spring into action-oriented solidarity with each other in our communities, because an attack on one member of the working class is an attack on all members of the working class, and attacks are coming daily. Whether we are contending with police terror, ICE, library closures, water debt, disasters, man-made or natural, substance dependency, domestic violence, and beyond, let us continue to come together to practice determining and implementing solutions that help us usher in another world we absolutely know is possible without use of the capitalist state or its tools. Our lives depend on it, and our ancestors and future generations are counting on us. For the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us temporarily to beat him at his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about genuine change. And that was from revolutionary black lesbian feminist Audre Lorde, February 18, 1934 through November 17, 1992. That shit.